Hello everyone, welcome to the Wisconsin Greg Show. I'm doing a little bit of a different type of a video today. If it works out, maybe I'll be doing more of them. I don't know, like every 6 months or every year or something. And I can kind of discuss things that I've learned in my life. That's basically what it's going to be, is some tips and tricks that old Wisconsin Greg has kind of learned through life. Not really life experiences, but just life in general and things that I've learned about people and about things to do and ways to do things and all different types of stuff like that. Thought maybe that younger people that watch this that are kind of trying to learn about, things in life and things that might help them out, advance quicker and stuff. They could maybe watch this, might help them out a little bit. Same thing with older people that haven't learned certain things yet or haven't figured things out yet. It might help them out a little bit. That's kind of my whole goal with this. I wish somebody would have told me some of this stuff that I'm kind of telling you now when I was younger. Maybe they did and I just didn't listen. That's possible. But that's kind of what this video is about. I'm not really sure, I guess, what I'm going to call it. Tips, probably something like tips and tricks learned through life or something, or Wisconsin Greg's life or something like that. But anyways, I'll figure out a title. Some of it, there might be things in here that you don't agree with, and that's possible. Everybody's got different opinions, and that's okay. We can all agree to disagree, and that's how life goes on. That's a good thing, I think. So anyways, I guess I'll get started here, and hopefully you guys like this kind of stuff. I don't know. We'll see. This is kind of a new adventure here, and hopefully it works out. So hopefully we can have some fun along the way, and everybody hopefully enjoys it. So I made a list of some stuff, and I'll kind of just go along with it or read some of them off and kind of go through them. Let's see. One thing I've learned through life is peer pressure. Just ignore it. Most of the time you think it's peer pressure if you don't do something or do this or do that, or you're going to be treated differently or something like that. I'll tell you the truth, most of the time other people ain't even looking at you. They're not looking to see what you're doing. They're so busy in their own little life. Peer pressure is more over exaggerated than anything, I think. I know a lot of times in a bar, they think they have to drink and stuff, and most of the time I've noticed people don't even notice what you got in your hand if you're in a bar, stuff like that. That can even apply to driving down the street. You think you got to go the speed limit of everybody else. You just do what you be your own, lead your own life and do what you got to do. I'm not saying to go extremely slow in a fast zone. That can get you in trouble too, but you got to do the right thing, and don't worry about what other people around you do. So that would be one of my things right there that I would first start out with. I'm going to have to mark these off so I don't get lost here. Let me see. The second one that I've come up with is learn to think for yourself. Ignore TV and ignore your friends' opinions. It's okay to listen to them, but don't think that you have to follow them. Make your own decisions. And I would tell you one of the best things you could do, especially nowadays, with the way the media is and everything, is to take the TV and shut it off. I would even like to do that with the internet, but that's very hard to do because I learned so much on the internet. A lot of times I have to go on there to Google something to figure something out, or to get a definition of a word or something like that. Things have changed so much, you don't use dictionaries or anything no more, so the internet is really hard to get rid of. But I would definitely, if you can do it, get rid of the TV, and I'll tell you what, that'll save you a lot of money if you're paying for satellite or cable and stuff. I got rid of my TV. I still have it, but I don't use it. I could use it in like emergency. I got a TV antenna with just local stations, but it'll save you a lot of money. I've got rid of my TV about 5 years plus, maybe 6 years now. I've saved a lot of money not paying for satellite. Um, and I think it's better off to go right to the source to get your news. I mean, it's okay to get a general, to find out about something on the major networks and stuff, but do your own investigation and go right to the source and see if you're being told the truth. I can tell you right offhand, there's a lot of times you're not being told the truth because I've done my own investigations lots of times. Um, some stations they all got their own agendas, and when something comes up that ain't for them on their agenda, they just switch to something else. They won't even let you hear it. So if you're staying stuck on one news station or one network or whatever, you might not be getting the full story there. So you gotta use a lot of variety of news and different sources. And the very best source you can get is right from the source itself, if you can. If you gotta call them, or like if it's a senator or congressman or something like that, call them, ask them a question, or write them a letter, or email them. That's the best way to get the correct news. So that would be my advice: is learn to think for yourself. Ignore TVs and friends' opinions and stuff. Kind of make your own choices, and gotta learn to be your own source of news, and decide what's correct and what's wrong. And it's all up to you. It's not up to anybody else, and you can't really trust anybody else nowadays. So that's kind of a bad thing. So that's that one. My next one is I've noticed this with a lot of people, and I even noticed it with myself. When I was little, I was quiet as this can be. But as you get older, people get more opinionated. I found that out. So that's just a thing that you're going to learn. Younger people learn that older people they get more opinionated because they've got more, they've seen more stuff in life. And they know exactly what can happen and possibilities more. Younger ones can be kind of drift. They can be leaded in different directions by people and stuff. So don't get mad when you hear an old person say something you don't like, because they got a lot of experience with what's been going on in this old world. So that's just basically that. It's just be aware that older people get more opinionated as they get older. This one is pretty basic. I mean, this is just, I've seen this in my life. Be leery of using drugs and alcohol. It could change your life forever. I know you don't think that, and maybe you do kind of think of it in the back of your mind, but you've seen stuff on the news, but you always think, oh, it could never happen to you, and then it can happen to you. I've seen many of my friends have problems and stuff, car accidents, and where people have got killed, or they've got killed themselves, or they killed somebody else, or they really severely injured somebody. So be very leery of using drugs and alcohol, I would tell you. Because once you do something like that, it's messed up your life forever. Another thing I would say is keep a tight circle of friends. I've never seen nothing really good come out of having a huge network. I'm talking about close friends. I think it's better to have a very close circle of just a few good friends that are really, really, really good friends, instead of a big circle of just a bunch of people who are kind of your friends. So that's my opinion there, and that's one you might not like, or some people might, but this one is pretty basic too. Everybody kind of knows that. You don't bring it up at the dinner table, and you don't bring it up at other places and stuff, and that's talking politics and religion. It can change your friendships forever. You got to kind of decide what's more important, your friends or your religion or your politics, whatever you decide to do. So make your decisions wisely, because if you want to keep those friends, some of them might be leaving if you start talking like that. I'm a bad one for that. I admit that. I'm very, lot of people on YouTube don't know it, but I talk a whole lot of politics, and I've lost a lot of friends over politics. Sometimes the ones I've lost, I can't really say. I can just say they weren't real close friends, and I think it was better to lose them than for not, in my case. It all depends, and you're going to have to make that decision. But so be leery of talking politics and religion amongst your friends. So, and this one I've already mentioned already. Get your news straight from the source. Call if you can, or I found out you can go on like a lot of websites, YouTube and stuff, where they do live streaming and stuff. And when there's something major happening in the world, everybody's got a camera nowadays, and you can get a lot of very, very accurate news from just independent people on the street, or which I guess you call them independent journalists. Because they're there, and you're getting it firsthand, and that to me is the best way to get your news. I like to do that. I watch a lot of live streams. I've watched a lot of cops shows, a lot of them where they're asking political questions with politicians and stuff, just people on the street with their cell phone in their hand. And then they post it to the internet, and that's a very accurate way to get your accurate news. A lot of times the major networks will never show you that, and I can verify that because I've watched a lot of stuff like that. So go right straight to the source if you can. This one a lot of people are probably going to hate me for. This one is... I wrote down, never talk to cops. I wouldn't say never, but if they're asking you questions and stuff like that, I wouldn't answer them. I'd say I just I respect your position and everything, but I'm not answering questions. And I know a lot of people will say, "What? You're not going to answer questions?" This came up at work the other day, and I was very surprised. The guy was a Marine. I believe it was a Marine. He had a military hat on or something. And so many people do not know their rights. Nothing can really come out good by you answering questions when they're doing an investigation on you or trying to figure out something. You're just going to incriminate yourself. You're better to remain silent. If you got the wrong cop, it could possibly end up, going wrong. But when it comes right down to the very end, you're going to come out ahead by being quiet. Nobody has helped themselves by answering questions like that. And there's an internet video on YouTube. I'll leave a link down in the description, and I would recommend everybody go watch that video. It's something about don't talk to a cop or something like that. I can't remember what it's titled, but I'll leave it in the description. That is one of the best videos, and it explains to you exactly why and what little things you say can get you in trouble. They can be used against you. So, I have nothing against cops. I respect all of our police force and everything, but you got to be careful. They're trained to use that against you. As it says, anything you say can and will be used against you, and it will. So you're better off to be just quiet. So that's the one I think a lot of people are going to not understand. But if you go watch that video that I leave the link for, I think you'll have a whole lot total understanding of what I'm talking about. So that's one thing I've learned in life. This is just my opinion. This is, I would say, eat a variety of foods, but limit yourself to sweets. Kind of stay away from the sweets. I think this is my opinion. I believe sweets are kind of a entranceway to cancer and other diseases and stuff. I'm no doctor. I'm not giving no doctor's opinions, but this is just my opinion. So I can't say I live by this one a lot. I love sweets. I'm bad with that. But I know it's not a good thing to be doing is eating a whole lot of sweets. And as far as eating a variety of foods, I think you need to eat a variety of foods to get your vitamins that your body needs. If you're eating the same thing every day or every week, same types of food or whatever, you're kind of hurting your body possibly because you're not getting certain vitamins and stuff. So that's my opinion. That's just one thing I kind of observed through life and from seeing other people eat and stuff. And seems to me like people that eat a variety of food are healthier, and then the ones that stay away from chocolate or candy and sweets, anything sweet, soda. I'm very bad with soda. Um, they seem to have a healthier life. It's just what I noticed through my lifetime. So, okay, and the next one is start a 401 plan or similar. Um, now, this is what I've learned through my life so far. This could maybe change possibly, and I'm kind of wondering about that right as the times are changing right now. But I'm gonna keep my eye on it. But so far, in all the years up to now, you should have had a 401 if you were working in a job and they offered it and you didn't take it. You definitely should have took it. At least take what they match or give you 50% up to or whatever. Sometimes it's like the first 6% or something. I know everybody's hurting nowadays, but man, if you can just squeeze that little bit into that 401, that can really help you out later on in life. That's just my opinion. I stuck a lot into my 401 and it's helping me out now later on in life, but I'm kind of getting a little bit scared with the markets and stuff the way they're going, and it's kind of teeter-tottering. We're right at that time right now with the new president. Well, I don't know what's going to happen here. So anyways, just keep your eye on that, but I don't think you're going to do no harm. I think you're going to always benefit by having a 401. At least the minimum amount from what the employer is going to give you or match, whatever like that. So the next one is some of you might disagree with this one too. Basically, the government doesn't really care about you. that's a short one. That's just right down. They most of the politicians in there, they're more worried about themselves, I think. That's what I've noticed in the past. That's just my opinion, and that's kind of what I observed through my years in life. They really don't care about you. They might give you the impression they do, but way down deep they don't. So, okay. This one, a lot of people probably, I'm thinking, will agree with me, but I'm not sure. It's that money doesn't make you a better person. I've met a whole lot of people that didn't have nothing, and they're great. They're great people, wonderful people. I mean, they're some of the people that you want in your tight circle. They're just great people. The money isn't what makes the person; it's the person that makes the person. So that's some people think, oh, you got to get money to get ahead or to be good or for people to like you and stuff, and that's not true. I mean, you can be dead poor and you can have the best friends in the world. So I've seen that several times. This is one I've learned through the past. I don't know how I learned it. I think it was just under frustration. That if you can't sleep, or if you're stressed, really stressed out from work or something like that, something going wrong in your life, go for a walk. That'll take care of it. Even if it's you've been tossing and turning in bed all night long and can't get to bed, get up, get your flashlight, go for a walk. Come back, and I'll bet you'll sleep a whole lot better. I don't know. I don't understand what it is, but it seems to work. Try it. All I can do is say is try it. And like I'm saying, I'm not giving no medical advice or anything. This is just what I've learned on my own. I've done that in the past. I've got up and went for a walk, and it's great. It makes you feel good. And if you got a park or woods to walk through or something, that's even better yet. But if it doesn't really matter if you just go down a sidewalk or go around the block or go down the road out in the country, make sure you don't get hit by a car or something, but take your flashlight and wear a reflective vest or something. Just go for a walk. It'll help. This one here seems to run in families. I noticed this one is just real basic, and never start smoking. I've had so many friends die of cancer from smoking, which I'm guessing is, well, some of them were definitely from smoking, and other ones I'm guessing that was caused by that. But it's just I don't understand it. They've had their own parents and stuff die of cancer, and they continue on smoking. I know it's very, very hard to quit, but if you can quit, I definitely quit. But if you're a younger person, definitely don't start, because it is very hard to quit, I guess. But that would be my recommendation: is just get away from the cigarettes. Don't be smoking. It's a very bad habit, and it's gonna shorten your life. It's not worth it. But that's my opinion. I'm not a smoker, and my family, none of my family has been smokers, so it seems to run. If you can break that cycle in your family, I think it would be a good thing for family generations down if you could do that. So that's just one of my things there. This is another one that's pretty common, is don't gamble. I've had some friends that have got some pretty heavy into gambling. I know it's fun, but if you are going to gamble, put yourself a limit. Just a, I don't know. I can't tell you a certain amount. Say $50 or something like that at the most, or $100. It all depends on what you can afford and stuff. But don't just keep pumping that money in there, because it's a habit too. It's almost like smoking. It's very hard to stop. I've had some friends that they've had some very, very, very hard times. They've lost a lot of money. I mean, ridiculously amounts of money. So that's another bad habit to start. I mean, it's a fun thing if you can control yourself. If you can't control yourself, stay out of there. Stay away from that stuff. So, this one is what's not important now in your life may be important later on in your life, or most likely will be. Lots of people look at things, they just figure, oh, well, it's not important. I don't care about that. Yeah. You may not care about it, but people later are older than you. They might be caring about it. And when you get older, you might be caring about it. So just be aware that things in your life now that ain't important when you're younger, they may be very, very important to you when you get older. So I don't know how to say this, but I'd say, don't just give up your rights on anything, or say, I don't care about that, what happens to it. I mean, try to protect everything and keep it there, so if you want it later on in life, you can have it, even if you don't want it now. So that's that one. And this is another one. I'm kind of a big, I guess, thing on rights. I am I'm very strong with the Constitution and protecting people's rights and stuff. I don't know, a lot of you might have heard me talk about firearms and stuff. I'm a big fighter for protecting firearm rights. I'm a big protector for fighting or protecting freedom of speech. I'm a big protector of every right there is. Don't let them go, and that's what this one is about. Rights are like muscles. If you don't use them, you're going to lose them. And once you lose them, they're very, very hard to get back. Almost impossible. So that's that. Okay, this is a very important one. I learned this one at my last job. This is one of the first things they told me when I started there, which was, I was at that job for 18 and a half years, and I've seen it to come true very, very often. Always be nice to everyone. Don't create enemies with your coworkers, because someday they could be your boss. And I can tell you that place where I worked, it was a candy factory. Many cases, my coworkers ended up being my boss. And if I would have not got along with them or had some major issues, it could have affected me down later on in life on that job. I could have made me even leave my job. Could have got me fired. It could have, who knows? Uh, sorry, sorry about that. That's my Harley Davidson clock on the wall going off. It goes different motorcycle every hour. So, anyways, that's a very important one. If you're working, always try to not cause conflict and try to get along with everybody where you work at your place of employment, because it could affect you later on in life, affect you if they become your boss, which is very possible nowadays. So this is one for I guess people that are believe in a God. I guess if you don't believe in a God, that's your choice, and this one probably wouldn't apply to you. But my thing is never kneel to anyone but your God. If you're gonna kneel to God. Don't kneel to no president, no anybody. Just kneel to your God. I've learned that through my life. If you're kneeling to these other people, most likely it's going to get you in trouble later on in life or down the road when that person does something wrong and you've been kneeling to them. It's going to make you look really bad. So that's just a thing that I've kind of seen in the past and learned. So, okay. This is a pretty common one. Kind of goes back to the thing at work almost, but this is for everyone. Treat everyone with kindness and respect. Treat them the way you'd like to be treated in return. So that's a simple one. Hopefully everybody would agree on that. Say hello and smile when you're passing somebody on a sidewalk or something, whether you know them or not. I say hello to almost everybody I pass on the sidewalk, unless it's like a super crowd or something. But if I'm just passing one person on the sidewalk, I'll say hello. Most of the time I get a big old smile from it. I always say hello to everybody. It's a good thing to do. It's a way people will kind of know that you're not a threat. So I think it's a good thing to do. I would recommend that. So this is another one that kind of goes back to the Bible. It's not that I'm a religious person or anything like that, real religious. I mean, I was raised it. I don't go to church every Sunday, but I am religious. I believe I'm a Christian. But this is just a normal one. Is money is the root to all evil, and I can verify that through my life. I've seen a whole lot of people. They'll do anything for money. They don't care. It's just it's a shame that money does that to people, but it does. So just be aware of that. This one I kind of just came from the top of my head, and I would say activity is the key to success. That is being active and just keeping busy and working, and if you keep working, you're going to succeed. So that's what that one's all about. This one is it's your job to protect your health and well-being. No one else is going to do it, not even the government. It's your responsibility to take care of your health, eat right, go to the doctor if something's wrong, do whatever you got to do, do investigation, read about how you can fix yourself, exercise. It's nobody's responsibility but yourself, but your own. So that's a pretty important one, to take care of your body. This one, gun-free zones are not a safe area to be. If you got two stores that are selling pretty the same thing and one's got a gun sign on it that says no guns allowed in there, go to the other one. The gun-free zone is like putting yourself in a barrel, like being a fish in a barrel and getting shot at. Even if you don't carry a gun, I'd rather be in a store where people carry a gun and can protect themselves and you from a bad guy. And if you don't think there's no bad people out there in this world, you're living a dream. I don't know. So a lot of people think, oh, a no gun sign is safe. A criminal does not listen to a no gun sign ever. When have you ever seen a criminal stop at a door and say, oh, a no gun sign, and turn around and walk away? I've never. That's just ridiculous. They don't care about a no gun sign. That's the dumbest thing ever. So anyways, if you got your choice to go to a store with a no gun sign or a gun sign on it, I'd definitely go to the one with the one that didn't have no sign on it. So you're going to be a whole lot safer in there. That's my opinion. So the next one is, don't be afraid to fire your doctor. Do the old Donald Trump on them. You're fired. If they're not helping you out, they're just nursing you along. Maybe just it seems like trial and error all the time. I can say this happened in my life a few years ago. That it was like the worst doctor I have ever seen. Every time I go there, it was costing me a whole lot of money, a lot of money. They were doing tests on me and stuff, and I'd go there and they'd ask me, "What do you want to do?" And I'm like, "I'm here to get advice from you." I said, "If I knew what I wanted to do, I wouldn't come here." And I fired him. I said, "I'm done. I'm getting a new doctor. I'm out of here." And I never went back to that guy ever again. That was like horrible. So just there's plenty of good doctors out there, but I'll tell you, you gotta find them. They're hard to find because a lot of them, the other people have found them already, and they're busy because they're good. That's why. So don't be afraid to fire your doctor if you got a bad one. So I know sometimes insurance nowadays it's kind of hard to do too, because you can only go to certain doctors, but hopefully you can find a good one in your network. So that's one thing I've kind of learned in life. This is going to be kind of a weird one, and I'm not giving you any medical advice. I just want to clarify this before I say this. This is just something I did, and it worked for me. I used to have a skin rash on my arm. I think both arms, if I remember right. But I've dealt with that, and this is another thing. I went to the doctor several times, over the years, and they always just give me some cream to put on it, and never really worked very well. As soon as you quit the cream, it'd be right back or whatever. They said you couldn't get rid of it. You're not going to get rid of it. You're only going to control it. And I think it was last year or 2 years ago, I put some suntan lotion on my arms, and I'm like, man, the first day it was like gone, and so I put it on the second day just to just to make sure, and then I quit. I didn't put no suntan lotion on. I was using it outside because it was sunny, and I didn't put no suntan lotion on, and I haven't had no suntan lotion on or any other thing on my arms, and my rash is gone. And you would think a doctor would be able to tell you to use whatever's in that lotion, whatever. I don't know what it is that stopped it, but it worked. So if you got a rash on your arm, try a suntan lotion. It might work for you. I'm not saying it will. I'm not saying it won't. But it worked for me. So give it a try. I don't know. It's a weird thing. It sounds funny putting suntan lotion on a rash to get rid of it, but it worked. So weird things happen, and doctors don't know everything, evidently, because I've been to the doctor several times for that, and they never told me or gave me the right stuff to stop it, and I found it on my own. So, okay. This is another one about drugs. This is just my opinion, and this is from my experience, and from things I've read on the news about it. This is a drug called renitidin. It's for antacid and stuff. It goes by other names too. But I would say stay away from it. There's other brands that you can get for acid reflux and stuff, other types of medicine. If you're on renitidin, ask your doctor if you can go on something else. I've read where it causes cancer, and there's been lawsuits about it. This is just what I've read in the news, and I had a I don't know what you call it, a reaction to it when I took it the first time. I only took it a couple times, and it made my eyesight all blurry. This was when I was working at my other job, and I could barely make it to work. I passed an accident, and I worked at night at the time, and the red lights and stuff in the dark, with my eyes being messed up, they looked like fireworks coming out, and I had to go past the accident, and the police were guiding me by, and I could barely see. It was pretty scary, and not knowing if you're going to get your eyesight back or not. So it was on the thing of possible reactions or something, side effects, but it was a very rare one. And the doctors wanted me to go at the time to go get all these tests, I said I never had nothing like this till I took this drug. I said, I'm quitting it. And I quit it, and like 2 days, 3 days, my eyesight was all back and good. But I've heard other bad things about it, and that would just be one of my recommendations, that if you ever get told to go on that, go for something. Ask them if you can go on something else similar. There's lots of other brands and stuff out there that don't have problems, or that I haven't heard anything bad about. But that's just my experience, and from what I've seen in the news. Might work for some people maybe, but I'd be very leery about it if you're going to use it, and do your studying about it. I don't like to cut anybody's business or whatever, but I haven't heard nothing good about that particular one. So that's that one. All right, this is a pretty basic one. Have at least one smoke alarm and one carbon dioxide detector in your home. I've seen families die because they didn't have one smoke alarm or carbon dioxide detector in the house, and I think that's kind of crazy. I just think it's worth the money to have. So I've seen that so many news articles where families have died of carbon monoxide poisoning, or gotten sick and stuff, and barely made it out of the house and stuff, or didn't have a fire alarm and their house burnt down and they died. The family died. So for a price of a fire alarm and a carbon monoxide detector, definitely everybody should have at least one. If you can't afford them, maybe go talk to your fire department or your police department and see if they could help you out or something. I think it's a very important thing everybody should have. So that's one thing I've kind of seen in my life. This is another kind of simple one, is never say never. I very rarely say never. I don't even know if I ever do, because as life goes on, things change, and when you said never to one thing forever, like if you're saying it's forever, I'm guarantee you down the life you may end up changing. So never say never. This one is kind of a good thing, or kind of applies, I should say, to the current times that we're going through. Never blame a friend for his political beliefs. Someone is misinformed, and it could be you. So you could be blaming him, and it actually could be you, because maybe you're misinformed. Maybe he's misinformed, maybe you're misinformed. One of you are misinformed, most likely, and there's a 50% chance it could be you. So never blame somebody for their political beliefs. So, okay. This one is kind of one where you're going to have to do your own investigation. I'd say be very careful when donating money if you're going to donate money to an organization. There's so many organizations out there now that you can donate $1 and maybe 20 cents will go towards what you think it's going to. The rest goes into other stuff, and a lot of it goes into people's pockets. So you can go online and see where the money's going a lot of times, but a lot of people don't do that. So I think it's very worth your time to investigate where your money's going if you're going to be donating it. So do some investigation before donating money to an organization. So this one's pretty basic too. There's good and bad people in every organization and in every profession. So just be aware of that. There's people you may look up to all the time. I don't know, whether it be your church, your police department. There's always a chance there can be a bad person in there, because there's bad people in everything. There can be a bad people at a fast food restaurant. There can be a bad people at a hardware store. There's good and bad people in every avenue you can look at almost. So just be aware of that. Just because you think they're in a higher rating or something, whether it be military even or what, there can be a bad person in the military. There can be a bad person anywhere. So it's just something to be aware of. So this one is pretty basic, I would think. I would hope everybody know that one. The world is not safe. I think there is people out there that are kind of naive, but the world is not a safe place. Even if you live in a little town of 1,500 people or 300 people, same thing I was just saying before, there can be a bad person out there, and there's bad people out there. So be aware of your surroundings. Just be safe. This one I have seen so many times. Not where I'm working now, but my previous job and stuff. Mostly my previous job. Most coworkers will throw you under the rug or under the bus, whatever you want to call it, to advance themselves. You may think they're your best friend, but if they can get an advancement, they're going to throw you under the rug. I'll tell you that. I have seen that so many times. So be careful of what you're telling people if you're wanting to get an advancement, and just be careful of what you're doing around them, around other people and people that you think even are your friends. Be careful, because if it comes between you and them, they're gonna throw you under the rug. So anyways, that's one I've learned, I've seen many times in life. Not that I've been thrown under the rug myself, but I've seen it with other people. So this is one I would highly recommend. It's a benefit to you if you can do it. I know some people aren't physically capable of doing it, and some people ain't living in the right area to do it. This is one I say, if you can do it, do it. Plant a garden. A garden is a good way to get you out of the house, get you some exercise, and get you some decent, good food to eat. Nice, fresh food. And you can grow what you want, and it's a good thing for your health and good thing for your body through the food that you're going to be eating. So I'd highly recommend growing a garden if at all possible. No, not everybody can do that. This one is never kill a bee. Bees are so important in this world. A lot of people don't understand that. Without bees, we don't have food. You got to have bees to pollinate all your plants, apples, and anything with a blossom on it. You need a bee to pollinate it. or to get good pollination. I mean, there is such a thing as hand pollination, but you need bees. They're busy bees, and that's what they do. And that's why we get so much food. So don't never kill a bee. Let it go. Walk away from them. So this is a pretty basic one too. I would think everybody would do that and take pride in your work. Um, if even if you know, like if you're working for somebody else and you're doing a project, um, make sure you're doing a good job that you would want to put your name on it. If you're doing projects at home, no matter what it is, put your name on it if you can. Some people I know, like woodworking projects, they'll make a stamp and stamp their symbol in it and stuff. Kind of, I think what they call that years ago. Can't remember. Was it marksman? I don't remember what they called it. A stamp. Put a stamp on everything, their own stamp, so people could tell it came from them. And I think that's people need to do that more and more nowadays, because there's some people out there that just don't care. They just go there to put their time in, or those kind of people ain't got their own business most of the time, but most of them are working for somebody else, and it's not a good thing. You got to take pride in your work if you want to get ahead in life. Otherwise, you're probably not going to be at those jobs long. This one I've learned through life, and I'm pretty lucky I can do this. If you want to eat good, you need to learn to cook. Cooking's not hard. Some people get all frustrated with it and think it's so hard. It's not hard. There's so many recipes you can go online and just get simple, basic recipes, 3-item recipes. You only need 3 items, stuff like that. And then once you get those, you can advance up to more items and stuff. But cooking is that's just everybody should know how to cook. I think that's just my opinion. So if you want to eat good, learn how to cook. This one is kind of goes back to the other one where I said you don't need a lot of money to be a good person, but this one is limit your work days. If a lot of people have their own businesses, and some people get stuck in jobs with a whole lot of overtime and stuff, burning the candle at both ends will put you in the grave. I've seen this with some of my friends, and they're just workaholics. Slow down. Let somebody else do some of the work. I know some people are that's where it goes back to that money thing again. Some people are money hungry. Money is the root to all evil, and it'll put you in the grave. You can't be working 12, 15 hours every day, 7 days a week. That's just nuts. You got to have some time for yourself, and you need to enjoy the world. It's not all about money, I'll tell you that. So this one I've seen from observing people and stuff, and if you're not happy with yourself, you won't be happy with life. So if you're not happy with yourself, you're going to have to decide what the problem is, or figure it out and do something about it. That's going to vary with every person why you're not happy. But you're going to have to do something about it to change it if you want to be happy with yourself, or be happy with your life. So that's kind of a hard one to give any advice, because everybody's could have a different issue there. But whatever is bothering you that you're not happy with yourself, got to cure that so you'll be happy with your life. So okay, this one kind of is almost the same as that one. If your job prevents you from enjoying life, get a new job. There's tons of jobs out there, and like I said, you don't need a whole lot of money to be happy. So but if you're qualified and you're a good worker, I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to find a good job out there. So that's that one. This one I see all the time. When people are losing an argument, the name calling starts out, or starts the name calling starts flying out. So if you're starting to get called all kinds of names, you know they're losing their argument against you. Um, or it could be right vice versa, which I would say if you get to that point and it's you, walk away, turn around, just walk away. But if you're talking about something and they start calling you names, you can be pretty darn sure that they are losing their argument against you and you're winning. So, anyways, that's just something that I've learned. And I think that pretty much wraps it up. So, hopefully, we can have some more parts. Hopefully, you enjoyed this video, and maybe there was something in there you can pick up, and maybe it'll help you out. I don't know. Let me know if you like this video. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to do that. We always like more people on this channel. I try to answer questions if I can, or comments that I get. Sometimes it takes me a while to get to them. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully there'll be some more parts to this video. Maybe part 2, part 3, part 4, who knows? We'll keep her going if people like this kind of stuff. I can tell you what, I'm 57 going on 58. I've learned a lot of stuff in just my time, and I'm sure there's a whole lot more for me to learn. So we'll catch you on the next Wisconsin Greg Show, and hope everybody's doing or having a great day, and we'll see you later. Bye now.